Hi guys, it's Starting to Geek, and I'm going to keep my voice down a little bit because I think my roommate's asleep right now. But this is going to be the first out of 2 videos that I'm going to be doing. I just got back from watching Doctor Strange from one of the first showings of the movie in America. So it's been out for a week, so if you're watching this, you probably have already seen it. So this is going to be the non-spoiler version of the post, so I'm going to be talking more about the movie as a movie. And then I'm going to have another one where I'm going to completely fan out. So check out both of them. They're going to be kind of different content. So this one, honestly, if I have to pick a favorite Marvel movie, this might take the cake of being my favorite Marvel movie. So I'm going to kind of break it down a little bit. I didn't write notes or anything on it, so I probably should have. So first off, I think I'm going to talk about plot. It's a very sound plot. Like, it makes sense. It follows a good progression of story. So it's a good traditional story arc. Obviously with not quite a cliffhanger ending, as you would think it would be. Which I'm kind of like, it's kind of an open-ended. I'm not going to explain, obviously that's going to go in the next reaction. But it's still good. One of the things, this is not going to be a spoiler, but one of the things I like, if you know anything about Doctor Strange, he obviously has some magic. And they explain it well enough where you're like, okay, I understand what they're doing. But they also don't explain it enough where you completely understand how the physics work. It's like they give you just enough information that it's believable. But then, however, it's just enough information to understand that this is really difficult stuff that they're doing. Which I really, really like. I think that's a very clever way of doing it. I was kind of worried how they were going to handle that. And Benedict Cumberbatch. So if you know anything about the actual movie, how the movie came to be, a lot of it was a fan-driven movie when people put together that Benedict Cumberbatch looked exactly like Doctor Strange and kind of acted like Doctor Strange in the sense of characters that he plays. And yeah, no, it was a perfect casting, I think. There were times I saw Sherlock, and just sometimes the way he said things, but they were very fleeting moments. I think there was just enough character distance that they were similar characters, but you could tell they were playing completely different characters. And I really appreciated that. He was fantastic. You could tell at times he was having a ball. But it kind of made sense because the character was kind of having a ball. So, you could just tell he was having fun doing nonsense with his hands and pretending, doing green screen stuff. Because, obviously, on Sherlock, he doesn't get to do a whole lot of that. But yeah, no, it was really fun. This is going to be kind of shorter because there's a lot of things to talk about. Visually, it was good. The graphics were amazing in it. There were times I like to think about those things, and I'm like, how did they do this? In the sense of, in a year's time, there is so much graphics in it, green screen work, and I'm like, how did they physically, plan this? It's kind of, I've never seen Inception, but from my understanding, it's kind of Inception-y at times. And so, all of that planning and maneuverability and, even, the simplest of scenes have, crazy things going on. And it's how did you plan this? And they did. And that's what made it work so well, is there was so much attention to detail in this. One of the other things I wanted to talk about, just for a split second on this non-spoiler review, was the humor. It was funny. And I'm not talking about, a huge lot of bellyache laughs. I know, Avengers was funny, bellyache funny. No, it was a lot more of just, snips, little things. I don't want to give any of the big jokes away, but just a lot of quick-witted jokes that you just, chuckled. It was, a true chuckling. It wasn't, I think one of my favorite lines of Avengers is, he's adopted, because I'm adopted. And so I think that was a bellyache laugh for me. But, they were just really fast and they were funny, and I think this definitely had a different tone than the rest of the superhero movies that we've had, which definitely matches. Obviously, this is such a different character. I actually learned a lot about the character's history this morning. I was writing a blog post for it, so if you want to know a little bit about Doctor Strange, check out my blog post at Startingtogeekblog at wordpress.com. And yeah, no, it was wonderful. It was wonderfully done. But yeah, so it's just funny. Visually, the colors, everything was vibrant. It's possibly one of my favorite movies, I think. And I literally can't stop. And there are several surprises, which I can't talk about, obviously, in a non-spoiler version of the review. But yeah, no, that's pretty much all I want to talk about. Performances from everybody was fine. Oh, I don't know the actress's name. And I know she was a very controversial casting. Let me look her up real fast. I'm talking about obviously the one who plays the Chancellor Supreme. But I know there's a lot of casting because I think her character originally was originally an Oriental woman. And so there was a lot of casting knowledge because obviously they casted her as a white woman. And obviously with today's society there's been a lot of tension. But she was fantastic. And I honestly feel, and this is just me, I'm not a comic book fan and I don't know, but I almost feel like they would have gotten a lot of backlash if they would have casted her as an Oriental woman, because it would have been deemed too stereotypical, being a mystic and like talking about chakras at one point and like all these mystical arts. It would have deemed probably a little bit too. I think it worked well. She was fantastic as this character. She was able to pull off this like ancient aura. I'm not saying that maybe an Orient actress would have been able to do it. But I'm saying, as for her, she was fantastic. And she was probably one of the highlights of the film. She and Benedict Cumberbatch had good chemistry together, playing off of each other. She had good comedic timing, which was funny. There was a lot of good chemistry in this cast, with something that's kind of hard to get. Well, and I feel like Benedict Cumberbatch probably paid a little bit better attention to that. It was just good all around. Shocked to see Rachel McAdams. I didn't look at the cast heading into it. I knew I was going to watch it. Rachel McAdams in it was a little shocking because I know Rachel McAdams obviously from like movies like The Notebook. And it works so well. We were talking about it, it's 90% on Rotten Tomatoes right now, which should tell you how high a level this movie is. Tilda Swinton played the character I'm talking about. What has she been in? Not a whole lot, but she was fantastic. Like, she played it very well. That being said, I love the concept. There's a lot of nods. So if you know a little bit about Doctor Strange, so little preview about what I know about Doctor Strange. I did some research this morning, and I've seen him within the cartoons as a character, so I know a little bit about him, not a whole lot. But there was enough nods in there that if you kind of know the character, and if you've seen him on things before, you felt like you got things a little bit more. Like there was a lot more cheekiness, just subtle things, and I'm like, okay. Just because I know that, and I know kind of the world that he's in. But yeah, no, it was really, really cool, and so I recommend watching it. It's going to kind of how I'm going to end this. I'm going to go to another video and do a complete spoiler reaction, because I've got several things I want to talk about this movie that I can't talk about in a non-spoiler version. Just let you know that it's a fantastic movie. I've never done kind of a non-spoiler review, so hopefully this is okay. If you think it needs some more help, just leave a comment below. And I'm going to get this posted as soon as possible, and then I'm going to do the spoiler version.